I'm quite impressed with this fish. It looks very, very nice. Decent quality size as well.
Probably going to get a bit more interested now, aren't you?
Yeah, I like this part.
The Shuro what's coming out now is massive. It looks like it's got underlining sumi. Really, really nice. Get yourself on the Japanese sock net and the pan net and the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bosh. I'll be adding some beneficial bacteria to the system in a minute. I'm going to keep the water the same and just give everything a bit of a rinse and go from there. Looks like we've got a giant spider that's decided to, yeah, good opportunity for me to give it all a bit of a rinse. Going to be replacing some of the filter floss with a mountain tree. You've made your selection of the ones you're keeping and the ones you want to move on.
Yep.
These are the ones that he wants to give away. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. James the Koi Whisperer. So today, coming up in this video, it's going to be a full maintenance breakdown video of all the jobs that I don't really like doing, but jobs that need to be done. So doing a water change on the boys pond, and we're going to replace the filter floss. Going to have a look through the shower. Stick around for this video and let's see what we get up to. So yeah, I'm currently doing a water change at the moment. I'm going to strip out all of this filter floss from the top, give the whole shower a bit of a breakdown just to see what it's looking like. Going to be replacing some of the filter floss with a Mountain Tree filter pad. I'm also going to be grabbing these fish out and have a little bit of a better look because the water's a little bit murky at the moment and I want to see what's going on. And because this is my boy's pond, he's currently fishing at the moment, absolutely loving life, and well, I've been left with the jobs of sorting out his pond. We did talk about moving some of the fish on in this pond, so it'll be a good opportunity by me lowering the water level in the pond, having a little bit of a better look, getting a few of the fish out, seeing which ones we're going to keep and seeing which ones we're going to move on. Let's just crack on. I need a bucket. And I also need a tidy up before I can get all these bowls out to have a look at the fish. Look at the state of it in here. So I don't normally do this, but I'm just going to shut the pump down for a second. And what I want to do is give a full strip down of this shower just to keep an eye on the media itself, because this whole pond is run off of one DIY shower filter. It used to run into a pressure filter to start with. And I just want to double check to make sure that any of the extra waste from the fish waste isn't getting built up in the bottom of the shower. It's a good opportunity just to strip it down, have a little bit of a better look, clean the media itself, and yeah, fire it back up pretty much. I'm going to give it quite a heavy water change today. I did mention on my last video, the pond itself has been a little bit neglected, just down to it's my boy's pond, but he's currently always fishing, and I've noticed over the past couple of months I've been doing a lot more maintenance to this pond and setup, and because it is a DIY pond, it is a lot more hands-on, so it does take a lot more maintenance. So you seeing this as I'm seeing it, and I've never broke this filter down since it's been set up, so you're going to see it how I see it. The only thing that we've ever replaced is by cleaning the very top tray. By me saying the only top tray, I specifically only mean the Mountain Tree filter floss, which is absolutely brilliant stuff. You can see it gets caked up in all of the fish poo waste. You can wash it, reuse it and put it back in, but I just wanted to take a little bit of a better look. Some of the media, some of the spiral filter mat that needs a bit of a wash, bit of a clean, bit of a maintenance. But you can certainly see how much waste this Mountain Tree spiral filter mat's collecting. It's about that time. It definitely needs a rinse, bit of a rinse out, and then put it all back in. The media itself, the lotus root media, in my opinion at the moment, by me first looking at it, it does look a little bit dirty as such with fish poo waste, so it's a good opportunity for me to give it a bit of a clean. But the beneficial bacteria build on it is probably outstanding and amazing. You can certainly see the spiral filter mat is getting a little bit cleaner. This drops down onto the second stage of the filtration system, which I can specifically see at the moment. The first stage, it looks like we've got a giant spider that's decided to make a home in here, so he's obviously not worried about the noise of the water trickling over him. Looks like he's laid a few eggs in here, but unfortunately he's going to have to go. So that needs a rinse. You can see how I've stacked the lotus root media inside of here, but it certainly does need a bit of a clean. You can see the build up, and that's the difference with having a pre-filter before any sort of DIY shower filter. This sort of needs to be kept an eye on. It's a good opportunity for me to clean that. and on the third stage you can certainly see it's a lot more cleaner. And at the bottom of it, this is more of like the sump chamber. Because of the way that I've got the outlet, it always holds water in the bottom of it, so you get a different style of bacteria build up here. And in this stage I've got the nitro rings, and it certainly looks like it needs to have a little bit of a clean or a bit of a dip rinse and then put back in. Got a little bit of muck built up down here on the side, so yeah, good opportunity for me to give it all a bit of a rinse and then put the whole system back in place. So that's what I'm going to crack on with now. But it's certainly worth keeping an eye on your shower filters if you haven't got something like a drum filter sat in place, like these sort of systems where it runs through a micron sieve before it goes to a drum filter. These drum filters have a sieve on them, it's got about 60 microns, but then it heads to your shower. Obviously having a pre-filter like this, just by having a bit of the spiral filter mat and the filter pad in place, you can see how much this catches, but it doesn't remove it from the system all of the time, so it's constantly running through. And when that gets filled up, it bypasses over the edge and goes on to the next layers. So you've got to keep an eye on your media, you know, see what it's looking like. But this is a year's worth of sort of running, if you know what I mean, which I haven't took it apart or checked apart from this top layer. So it's been a year, give it a clean, put it back together, job's a good one. I'm actually going to be washing all of the media in that water, giving it a bit of a dip clean, bit of a rinse off. And with this spiral filter mat, it is super easy to give it a bit of a clean. Just give it a bit of a shake and you can see already how much muck and waste comes out of the media itself. And with any media that you clean for your pond, you only want to be dip cleaning it. And you can see already it's not spotlessly clean, but it's knocked off all of the heavy debris what gets built up, and that's all I'm looking to do. So it's straightforward again, just a bit of a wax on, wax off, Mr. Miyagi style, bit of a shake, and you can see how clean that media's come up. Like I said, it's not spotlessly clean, and you don't want your media spotlessly clean, but you can see the colour of this water now compared to what it is when I start. So you can see how much waste that this spiral filter mat collects and how easy it is to clean. Just a bit of a shake, backwards and forwards, knocking off 90% of that debris, the waste, the build up. And you can see already that it just goes to show how good this media is, just because how much waste that it actually catches before it goes into the system. So they're all clean. I'm going to do the same to these now, but it's certainly a job that you need to do yourself manually. Having a drum filter, it gets rid of all of these options. Not saying a drum filter is the answer, but the drum filter certainly frees up a lot more freedom and time. So that being said, let's crack on. So we've got the Mountain Tree nitro rings. The nitro rings come in a bag and they're absolutely brilliant. But same again, for how easy it is to do a dip clean and get rid of all of that muck and waste without knocking off all the beneficial bacteria, just giving it a little bit of a rinse pretty much, just a quick little movement into a bit of water, and that's all I'm looking to do. And you can definitely see the beneficial bacteria built up on this now. Outstanding media, brilliant quality, and really easy to clean. Any ceramic media that you put into your pond, if you do put it into a bag or a sack, it certainly does make it easier to get in and out of the system, and certainly makes it easier to give a bit of a rinse and a bit of a clean. But if my camera assistant would like to zoom in on this mucky water now, certainly see how much waste was built up in the filter itself, so it was definitely worth me doing. Give all of these a bit of a rinse. Hopefully I don't get too much dirt on me. And you can see I definitely trust the media itself. Some people said to me over the years with this lotus root bacteria house that it crumbles and it dislodges and breaks and crumbles up to nothing. This has been in the system a year now, and you can see I am squeezing that really, really hard, and that does not break. So I don't know what people are on about, but I think it's outstanding media. And the same again, a little bit of a rinse, super easy to clean. And I'm rinsing it all with the pond water that I'm taking out of the system. So I'm going to lose some beneficial bacteria. There's no sort of right or wrong way to do it apart from just a bit of a rinse. You don't want to be getting a pressure washer out and cleaning it sparkling clean. I can remember when I first started in the fish hobby that I thought having a filter, running it under the tap, making it look brand new again every time I clean the filters out was the right thing to do. And having behold, it certainly is not. What you do is you take your time to build up beneficial bacteria on this media, or on any sponges, filter pad, any media that you use. It takes months and months to build up beneficial bacteria to keep the nitrogen cycle in your pond all healthy. And when you clean it off completely, it's like starting a brand new system up. Hence the reason new pond syndrome. So whenever I do a big clean like this, I'll be adding some beneficial bacteria to the system in a minute. Yeah, that's enough yibbity yabbada. Let me put it back in place and I'll show you these fish when we put them in a bowl in a minute when the pond's back up and running. Happy days. So now I'll be using the Mountain Tree 3D filter pad, or it's actually Mountain Tree filter pad now it's called. You get loads of this when you buy a new box. It retails roughly around 21 quid, 22 pound. I'll leave the links in the comment section if anyone wants to check out any of the Mountain Tree products, all down in the comment section and in the description of the video. But all I'll be doing now is cutting a fresh piece, because my boy can wash all of these bits off what I take out, and all I do really is just slide that underneath the spray bar. We'll turn it back on, make sure we got no leaks anywhere, get it up and running, and then we're going to grab some fish out and have a little bit of a better look. I can feel some water coming into the system, and I run this pump because it's a 10,000 litre pump. I run it as slow as I possibly can. Well, the whole system is only run off one pump, no UV light, DIY shower filter, and it uses 25 watts an hour, which is pennies. Oh look, guess who's just come home from fishing?
Well, it was a good time, and I did have one.
Happy days, mate. I'll put that up on the screen now so people can see, but I've just cleaned all your pond out for you.
You're probably going to get a bit more interested now, aren't you?
Yeah, I like this part.
You like this part of it, you don't like the cleaning.
I don't like the cleaning, but I like looking at them.
While that's topping up, we're going to take some water out, chuck it into the blue tub outside, and hopefully Mrs. Whisperer don't mind too much. We're not going to get water everywhere, and we're going to give you a little bit of an inspection of the fish when they're in here, so we'll crack on and get this done. Bosh.
Bosh.
And one thing's for sure, when I was in Japan I picked up a couple of socks and a few nets what I put in my suitcase, and the quality is absolutely outstanding. Did retail in English money roughly around the 50-55 pound mark, so it was just over 11,000 yen I think. Quality sock. Best thing about this sock is that you can drain the water out from the bottom, but I really do like it. Get yourself on the Japanese sock net and the pan net and the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Bosh. Right, so these guys have never come out of here before, so they might be a little bit jumpy. Hopefully they're not too bad. I'm just going to try to catch them into the sock itself and then get all of them all at once, if I can. Cause as least stress as possible. And then when you release them with this sock, a little bit of water into the top, and then they come out at the bottom. Brilliant. Well, the kahaku certainly looks mint anyway. Your Shuro, what's coming out now, is massive. Well, it is compared to when you first put it in there. The size of that beast.
Massive.
That's mint, isn't it? I certainly think you got too many fish in that little vat anyway. But yeah, that's proper clean. Really, really nice. So I thought I'd let him have a go, and he just said that he's caught all of them. He don't mess around. He's the Whisperer boy. Yeah, and then just let it slide out the back. Beautiful, son. But there certainly seems to be a few too many in there if you want to continue with some of the growth and development in such a small pond. How many's in there? There's got to be 10 in there.
Yeah, about 10.
I think first inspections, looking at them now at the moment, the Shuro looks absolutely outstanding. The Sumi on it is well black. Absolutely stunning, and it still looks like there's a load of underlining Sumi to come up on it. The Kahakus look absolutely mint. Yeah, yeah, just goes to show in a small little system, there's some fish that's developed better than others. I mean, to be fair, we'll have a little bit of a measure up now, but I can't really remember the size when you first put them in there. They were all under 10 to 15 centimetres or something like that, weren't they?
Something about that, I reckon.
Yeah, a Chiba looks nice. Ginrin Chiba. Certainly shows some fish have developed a lot better than others, but they all look in very good health anyway, in such a small little tank, 200-gallon tank. But just goes to show, you buy some cheap fish and you can end up with some really nice looking fish at the end of it. Some not so good, but some of them certainly do look nice. But it certainly gives us a bit of an opportunity to have a little bit of a look. But I am quite impressed with that Shuro myself. I think that looks absolutely stunning, to be honest with you. And it does look like there's a load of underlining sumi to come up there that's going to continue to come through. But that sumi on that fish is outstanding. Really, really nice. But kahakus certainly look impressive. Very, very clean and tidy. What are you saying, Jake?
I think they all look great in my opinion. But yeah, if you told me I could only have one,
Yeah.
I would definitely keep this Shiro.
You would, yeah?
Looks beautiful.
Certainly does look nice. I'm quite impressed with this fish. It looks very, very nice. Decent quality size as well. The sumi on it looks amazing. But I just want to give this a bit of a measure up because this one's grown the best, I think. So it is 32 cm, which is quite an impressive size fish really for a small little tank, seeing as that you only had it at 15 cm-ish, 10 to 15 cm. Very nice, clean, tidy. Very clean on the bottom, no marks, no damage. But that sumi is really, really strong. That is very impressive. And I can see on the top of it here as well, that it looks like it's got underlining sumi, which is going to start coming up through here as well, over its head.
It comes out quite well in the camera too.
It looks really good, mate, to be fair. I think the next favourite fish is probably this kahaku here. This looks very nice and clean. Benny on it's very, very strong. Very bright red. And this one is coming in at 25, 26, 27 or 28 cm, which is quite good. This guy here, nice pattern that. Benny's very strong again. Body's nice. As I said, these weren't expensive fish when you got them. 26, 27. Without being fussy, you're going to lie, I think some of the Hyatzuris are pretty low quality, to be fair. They've misplaced a couple of scales over its lifetime, to be fair. The Kiatzuri, there's hardly any speckles on it, I suppose. It's still quite a nice looking fish, nice pattern to the fish. There's no speckles on the side where there shouldn't be. Nice side pattern as well.
Would you say the Benny's quite faded? Is that?
Could be, not too bad. Actual love heart on its head, which is quite cool. Shisui. The zipper on the Shisui is quite nice.
Just splash my face.
Yeah, I think the three favourite ones, if you were going to keep any of them, it would be the Shuro, the Kahaku, and that Kahaku. I think the little Ginrin Chiba, I think we should put into the goldfish pond, to be fair.
Yeah, probably would grow a bit better in there as well, wouldn't it?
We might do. I think he'll just look, because it's just a small fish, I think it's always ever going to be a small fish.
Yeah.
I think it's very nice pattern and very pretty, but I think it would do quite well in the new goldfish tank, which will free up a little bit of space in that tank. But your Hyatzuris, definitely think we could move on to someone that's just setting up, that wants them.
Yeah.
But that's down to your decision, I suppose. There's always new people starting out in this hobby, so to help another koi keeper out by giving them away to a couple of subscribers maybe, or someone that's just started up, they'll be more than appreciated of a couple of these fish, which will free up a little bit of space, because all fish grow, and the more fish that you have in a pond, the more problems that pond can have. So it will certainly be worth you know, thinning down the numbers and keeping them a selected number of the better quality ones that you want to keep. Not to say that you're getting rid of the crap, but you're getting rid of the ones that you don't want, to help out someone else maybe. But yeah, that being said, I think we'll get these back, and yeah, happy days. But well impressed with this fish right here. I think that there is probably the most impressive fish
that looks really good
that you've got there, especially for the potential what it's going to do as well in a minute. I think if a bit more of the sumi comes up here, which is going to, because when you first initially had it, it was all white. There was only underlining sumi to that fish. There was no sumi on it. So
I remember it was option between one that's like proper came out and that one what was a potential, and I took the potential. That's
right, yeah. We'll see if I've still got the footage, I'll put it on there as an overlay, but let's get these guys back and we'll carry on with the video. Right, so you've made your selection of the ones you're keeping and the ones you want to move on.
Yep.
So these are the ones that he wants to give away. So if anyone messaged me on Instagram, the first person to message can come and collect them. They've got to go as a job lot. We're not going to be giving them away separately. Any new person to the hobby, anyone local to Devon area that wants to come and collect them, they can have them for free. And yeah, they're still nice fish, but you just wanted to make your numbers a little bit smaller in the tank, didn't you?
Yeah, keeps the tank health a bit better too.
He has actually put the Ginrin Achiba in here and the Matsuba in here because they're very small, to be honest with you. He wants to keep them just for a couple more months to see how they get on. He's got his original ones that he's keeping in here. Water change is still going on, but it will be easier for the water quality with less numbers to a pond. And he's just in the current stages of collecting these guys because they have to go back in the tank for now. But making the decision on moving on your pets or fish is part of the hobby, and you've got to make that decision when you buy so many small ones at once. So ready to put them back in, son?
Yep.
And hopefully it gets him a little bit more interested in the hobby, seeming that he's getting a bit more hands-on with it, because keeping koi, when they're all set up, apart from looking at them, can get not boring, but there's just not much to do apart from the cleaning side of things, isn't there, in a small little tank?
Yeah.
But that was a bit of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, hell of fun.